Welcome to Three Gears Studios Miniature Market, or Miniature Bazaar, where hopefully you'll be able to get your own miniatures. We are going to wait a couple of minutes to gather an audience before we go live, or before we start with the first lot. We had this all tested beforehand, I swear. So today we have a lot of wonderful miniatures for your entertainment. Hopefully we'll be able to get many of you some great deals to add to your campaign. The way that this works is, if you see something that you would like, every lot item will have a item number attached to it. And all you need to do is to private message us with the lot number of the thing that you want, and we will go and send you an invoice by PayPal so you can pay for it. Because we want to get you miniatures, and I know that you want to get us money so we can keep on doing things like this. On top of all of that, we have this beautiful World of Greyhawk 2nd Edition campaign setting for Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, and this beautiful Elder White Dragon that's bundled together. If you want this, private message us with "Give me Greyhawk," and you can have this for a low price of $200. From our research on the value of both of these collectible items, that will give you a nice chunky discount on that. So, back room, are you guys ready?
We are getting ready.
You are getting ready.
Yeah. We need to get this table, the one back. So,
They're always trying to clear stuff up.
I know, right?
Yep.
I wish we had another table.
Well, without further ado, let's start with our first mini. Some of these things are individual minis. Some of these are bundles. All of them great to add to your tabletop. So, let's start off with this nice low price. Yes, I can find the camera. Gold Dwarf Guard, raising her axe in the air. You can add this dwarf to your campaign for a low price of $3. Focus on this camera. It's not as good as the last camera we had. So I'm adjusting the focus so the focus is a little bit more. You know what I'll do to try to get that light to be a little bit better? So this is the box that we plan to use in order to ship all your miniatures. That is going to go under the dungeon tile that we have here, so that we might be able to get. I guess that's too high. Like I said, we test this, honest. We'll use these ASMR help. ASMR help underneath it, so you can get a better look. It's still too high. Well,
You need to, it looks fine. Like the angle looks fine. At least from there.
yeah, I'm looking at it in the review here. Can you? This light doesn't have much structure. Anyway, we'll just work with it. Actually, if you could plug that in over there, we'll make do until you can do that. So this beautiful gold dwarf fighter. Yes, dwarves are always good. Welcome, Amanda. Like I said, just $3. And while you can admire that miniature, I'll get something out nice to fight it. Because, of course, wherever you have dwarves in the deep, dark underground, it's too strong. You probably want it up and off center a little bit so it's not directly down on it. See that knob down there?
This one?
No, that one. That one will help. Will let you extend the legs. So, like, you loosen it, you slide the. Don't worry about it. So next, to fight the gold dwarf, we have this Grimlock. This Grimlock, being a little bit rarer than a gold dwarf, is $5. Just look how both of those would look on the table together. So you can just see it going. And if you want this Grimlock from the deep caverns of the Underdark, that is lot 002. We're working with lighting on this one. The Grimlock doesn't like it because, you know, Grimlock's not liking light. And people running into things like this, trying to get it so that you can see everything well. Hey, an extra eye. Welcome. There we go. Just a little bit.
You want me to put it up higher?
Down lower. So what I'm trying to do is counter the cast shadow. So like almost even, like it as if it's a circle light. Okay. So now that we've scared the Grimlock with a suitable amount of light, we'll move on. We'll go pull up the next thing. So for $5, you can get this lovely elven fighter. Elves, of course, loving their shiny gold plate and wonderful robes, will protect you with its hammer of judgment and a nice shield in order to defend it. To admit, most elves I've seen on the tabletop tend to like to use their sword instead of a hammer, but still, it's a nice hammer for you. It's a nice figure for representing your hero on the battlefield. And Next, we'll go to our first bundle. So, lot 004, we have an Earth Elemental. And because sometimes you're not always using big Earth Elementals, we also have Mini Elemental. Together, this is our Earth Elemental bundle. So for the low price of $10, you can have both of these miniatures. And of course, if you like this, just make sure to private message us on Facebook that you want lot 004, and we will make sure to invoice you and so that we can, and then send you these models in the mail. No contact needed. And you too can have these wonderful elementals. Just look at those shiny crystals bristling off their backs, eager to go and be shoved into a nice, friendly adventurer that they meet up with. It's really just a hug with points. So, there is our first bundle of the day. And of course, a fan favorite with lot 005 for $15. An owl bear. Always a fan favorite. Perfect for rending your heroes in twine. This owl bear, this CR, was it CR3, CR4? Owl bear can be yours for $15. Just look at those bristling feathers on that back. Just look at that strong pose that it has there as the owl bear. And of course, if owl bears are a bit strong for your blood and a little bit strong for your campaign, or maybe you just have too many heroes that are typically well defended, lot 006 might well be just where you want to go. From the ashes of angry elven rage is the Banshee. Anyone who thinks that their armor is thick enough, Banshees will scream straight to your soul, rattling your hit points away with a saving throw. This Banshee could be yours for $5. Once again, just message us. And of course, because we love you so, and you love us so, please make sure to share the love with everyone around.
Tag a friend in the comments.
Tag a friend in the comments. Tag a comment in your friend, and because we would love to see everyone here to enjoy these lovely miniatures. The best is still yet to come because we got some truly chunky miniatures that are only shadowed by this ancient white dragon, which I should take off that bundle banner.
Yeah, I was like, why does it still say bundle?
Because I didn't take off the bundle banner, which is bundled with the World of Greyhawk fantasy campaign setting. This is an old 2nd edition title. Both of those can be yours for a cool $200. Just make sure to private message us with "Give me Greyhawk," and you can have both of these. So remember that. In fact, to remind you of that bundle, Nice acrylic cube against over top some of our miniatures that we keep here in the store in our own miniature library. We'll stick it right here as a forever reminder, because you guys can see that, right? My shows that the only thing that can eclipse that ancient white dragon is the size of my own head. Next up, going more into the creepy stuff that you find in graveyards. Lot 007 for $3 is a lost soul. I haven't used one of these yet, but I'm eager to. No hints towards my players out there. These lost souls are fantastic things for you to do. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing that love. Because we would love to see Ben and Alexander in here watching too. But these lost souls are creepy aberrations from deep dark. I haven't read their lore, because those are the scariest places. But this creepy little model can be yours for the low price of $3. So moving on. And of course, who leads all of these terrible, creepy things but model 008, which is a sea hag whose plot and machinations will tear apart the closest knit village in no time straight. This foul creature can be yours for the low price of $5, and the perfect representation to go and scare those low-level party members, quaking in their boots at who knows what kind of magical abominations that might come from this. Thank you, Lena, for being our rotating table.
You know, that would have been a cool idea.
Have like a little lazy,
Have the lazy
yeah.
Susan.
We need is a really
It
small
would have
one.
to be, yeah, it would have to be really small.
Well, we could get at some time in the near future, maybe we can go and bring up a teeny one just so we can go, look at this. Okay. So coming up is another bundle. Hit the button to show it.
It
So-
says welcome, but I don't see the bundle button.
Oops.
There it is.
Gotta show it. It's a bundle. Lot 009 for $6. So this is a very low priced bundle indeed. Is a 2-for ghoul pack. As we have, as everyone knows, the mindless charges of the ghouls can only be truly understand when there's actually an intelligent mind behind it with a ghoul monarch. And of course, because ghouls are always more intelligence than people give them credit for, we have a ghoul hunter right here. That light might be a little bit too direct.
Then it gets really dark.
Yeah.
I can move the light over
Yeah, let's have it like right behind the camera.
right here.
Yeah. And raise it up some. How does that look, everyone? Lighting's hard. Just for the record.
Can I put it up higher like this?
I think what I want is a diffuser. No, I think that's the best we've seen so far. So, lot 009, $6. The nice ghoul bundle. So, moving on to the next thing here, lot 010. To contrast that ghoul bundle, you can always just go for the lone ghoul. This is one of your more typical flesh-rending villains of the night with a typical ghoul. This ghoul is only $4 that you can add to your thing. I suppose you could get all 3 ghouls for 10. Once again, just let us know, and we'll be glad to send them your way. Ghouls are always one of those favorite. I always like ghouls as a nice low level. They're big enough in order to actually be scary to low level parties, so you don't need them to be quite so hordeful. But they go down a little bit faster than the zombies, which sometimes just turns into a slugfest. Because they don't do much. Zombies don't do much damage against you. You don't do a whole bunch of damage against those zombies. So that lovely ghoul. Next up, continuing on the undead theme. Speaking of zombies, 011. Illustrating my point is this zombie right here who has gotten the point right through the chest. Who's that on? Zombies being such a fan favorite, this one's a little bit more expensive at $5. We did do all of our research on the internet to go and find where all of these things are, and how much we should put these at. This zombie is, as you can see, has already taken a lot of punishment. Always, if you just want some undead just to get in the way of other undead, zombies are great. So nice to go and scatter in front of your big bad. So the big bad can be like, I'm scary big bad. And all the zombies are like, you're not going to touch my big bad. So you can add this in front because it loves to hug things trying to get at Strahd. We can make that fly away. As if a regular zombie is not quite your thing, this zombie orc, or as they like to label it, the horde zombie, can be there instead, just to get in order to fill that role. So when the players see it, they're a little bit more like, eh. They didn't just zombify a zombie, they zombified an orc to do that same job. Maybe even throw in a few more hit points just to show how extra beefy they are. But it is on a little bit of a lower price tag at $3, and that is lot 012. So, coming up next, because if zombies and ghouls aren't your things, 013 might be, with the ever so stunning white. This one appears to have been once a pirate in its past life, as these whites will go and, as a more powerful form of ghouls, whites are a fantastic thing when you're starting to just get those undead to be a little bit more leveled up. Because, so often with the undead, you see a huge jump between the low-level undead and then the CR 13 vampires. There could be such a jump between the low-level and the mid to high-level undead. And whites are a great way to kind of fill in that gap. So, of course, add in this pirate white, which, of course, can also pass as a pirate zombie or a pirate any other rotting corpse that you want in your battlefield. Of course, next up, 0014, it's almost like these numbers have a pattern to them. For $5, we have another variety of white. This one taking a little bit more of an Arabian Nights motif. This too can decorate your battlefield, lending itself to to your own fight. Because of course, sometimes we all know that sometimes having a variety to your miniatures just helps add that interest to your battlefield. As well as if you are playing one of those settings, like the old Pathfinder used to let you do, sometimes you could apply these undead templates to your players so that your PCs could actually become some of these creatures of the night. Because of course, who doesn't want to be a vampire lord PC? So that's the white. Of course, getting a little bit more spectral. 015, rhyming with what rhymes with white, but not really. A wraith. And of course, if you look ever so carefully, you'll notice this see-through. This is a see-through model. Everything is translucent on this one, which gives that hair a glowing red and that body that ethereal purple. And of course, what makes one wraith what's more scary than one wraith? Two wraiths. So these are $3 each. If you want both of them, let us know and we will send you both of them. And of course, if you like what you're seeing here right now and you think you know a friend that would love to see some of this stuff, make sure to share with your friends. Like it, post your friends in the comments so they can be like, hey, I should look at that. And we will love to be able to share this stuff with you. After all, the more success we have on these, the more of these we can do. So moving on to the next thing. And of course, if you want to rewind to get a second look at anything, just say, hey, let me see that zombie again. And I'd be like, which zombie? And you'd be like, I want this, the pirate zombie. And I'll be glad to show it to you. But getting a little bit more winged, we got a slimy fiend. So getting a little bit more into those devils and demons out there. I almost want to see this creature stat block on this one. Slimy fiend, this incredible medium-sized creature that can go and terrorize your players. Just look at those holy wings right there, or unholy wings as it would be. Almost look like someone took a slide and put it into it almost took a slot and made it into a demon. So while we are showing off this guy down here, because Amanda asked for it, we will show it to you. Lot 006. Banshee, because nothing is more terrifying than an elven woman's scorn. You take something that lives for 2,000 years and then you make it pissed off and dead, and of course they're going to come back and rage you. Just look. I'm not sure if the focus can do it justice, but they actually went in there and painted the eyes and mouth red to just make it pop a little bit more. Always worth revisiting. I didn't actually see that first time I picked it up to show everyone. As my mic cord is getting caught up in my chair. Got to keep that mic cord good so that we can keep the mics good. Some banshee, isn't it? So, moving on to the next one. Lot 017. We have a harpy. You know, this is a creature type that I don't see done nearly enough. Because I guess it's part. Yeah, it is so cool. I think in part it's because we so often go straight to the set piece dungeons, and harpies are fantastic to meet on the road on the way to the set piece dungeon. Uh, Smart enough to talk to, vicious enough to go and shriek at you until you fall apart dead and they can eat your bones. Just look at those wings. Just look at those wings. They're incredible. Those factory paint jobs can be so nice sometimes, and shows what a table ready miniature can be. And of course, don't forget that tomorrow our first role-playing games will be up for the public to sign up to through our website, on our Discord channel, and any other channel we can send it to. We'll be releasing these role-playing signups all through the weeks, but of course, all the remaining slots will be first come, first serve. I think of at least 3 new games that we're starting up, one exclusively for teens. So, coming up next, it may look like a tiefling, it may sound like a tiefling, but this little creature is Minigo. It's like a minotaur, but just with a little bit more gauche. I think this one is Pathfinder Models. Yep, Paizo Publishings. This is from the Pathfinder, one of the Pathfinder lines. Pathfinder lines always tend to be a little bit more expensive. It is $3, but this one is $3, so it's one less expensive. You'll really start seeing the difference when we start getting to the goblins, because Pathfinder did such a unique job to their goblins. And yes, some goblin bundles are on their way. It's just not here yet. Ooh, and there's something big on my table. Get ready. And of course, if you want to pick up any of these models, just message us with the lot number. Hi, Stephanie. I will be throwing up some of the painted stuff that is from our own library. If we get to them today or not, we'll see. Just stay tuned as we go. Right now, we're going through some of the ones that are from the Will collection, which is also known as the collection that my brother Will left us to be able to sell off. So next is 019. These are needle blights, because nothing says cruel like spiny plant life. Nothing says Groot like Groot. So needle blights, these little creatures, not quite as strong as Groot comes out to be, are the angry remains of cursed plant life. Any number of ways I like to use them. Most of the ones I've seen in pre-written models have to do with a Gathari tree. Yes, pronounce my pronunciation in the comments. But these ones are the ranged variants of blights, for low price of $7 each. And of course, these ones too, we have 2 of. These are highly recommended for anyone who particularly likes to use some of the more witchy plot lines. So if you want to get into hags and dryads and various other kinds of aggressive plant life, um, the the needle blights are a fantastic addition to it. And now for our first really big guy. Because of course we'll just go straight to the what is the best form of giant, but a storm giant. Definitely one more for the GMs that are looking for a challenge for your higher level campaigns. Um, this big guy brings the thunder. Wow, I guess he's too big for my stage. Everyone look at that belly button there. He is Lot 020 for $30. Just look at him. I could move him back, but I've tested this. It doesn't help much. He's still cut. His head still gets cut off. I have to change the entire camera angle. Storm giants, of course, we know are related to the sky giants, also known as the biggest, toughest, baddest giants you have ever seen. And makes for some impressive models, not just for the battlefield, but just to have on your on your shelves, so people can be like, "Ooh, I don't want to fight that thing. Can we be friends? We like friends. We can be friends with giants, right?" So the storm giant. Move him aside so you can see the model number while I go reach for the first piece of undersea adversaries. As 021, the Olkini. Takini. So this fabulous fishman crawling through the swamps and the oceans just in order to get at you. We don't see many sea life enemies come out of these packs. After all, things like the orcs and goblins are so much more popular. But that just means when you do bring out a fishman, you need an actual fishman to show the fish. And that way you can really let loose with those sushi and calamari jokes. And of course, if you like any of these models in order to bring home that you want to see at your own home, you can, of course, message us at the Three Gear Studios Facebook page with the lot number, and we will be glad to go bundle it up and invoice it out to you. And of course, if you say, "I want Greyhawk," this World of Greyhawk campaign setting, which we know is many of those old school geeks really want to be able to play in, can be yours alongside of this ancient white dragon, just to go and roast your party with frozen snow. If you want to know how you roast someone with frozen snow, just lick some dry ice, and that hospital will be glad to tell you how you just got frostburn. So, and if in order to get this bundle, be the first to message "Give me Greyhawk" to us, and it can be yours for $200. $200, and that is a savings from buying it online, from buying it piecemeal online. So think about it. Next up, getting into the demon monkey things, because it looks like a monkey, except for it has a squid head. I don't even know you can call it a squid head. This is the kind of thing that leaves me with nightmares at night. I know, I just did a double thing. Just look at that head. So, for those who are like, what is that ugly thing? Lot 022, that is a moon beast. Yes, a moon beast. Of course, everyone who wants to show the moon beast to their friends, and it's like, ew. Just make sure to message tag your friends in the messages. Of course, like and share this event, and we will be glad to share it, to send our love out to you. Maybe with a battalion, maybe not. But certainly, that moon beast is something worth to behold. Ah, um, so of course, going from one thing you don't want to look at to another thing you don't want to look at. I'm going to put this right here, so if anyone's like, show me the moon beast, I can pull that out again, because it's kind of that. Lot 023 for $5. Look at this little chicken. It's a cockatrice. Yes, this thing will be glad. It brings a whole new meaning to getting stoned. This cockatrice will be glad to go and freeze your party in place with its petrifying gaze, and only for a low price of $5 on that one. Gotta love them cockatrice. But this one will be glad to go and dress up your table. And as much as all those players build up those high ACs, getting plate mail and stuff like that, they always forget saving throws stop the really nasty stuff. So, of course, going from one nasty encounter to a terrible low-level encounter, particularly if you get it like right before the players get any magic items. 024 for $4 is a were-rat. And high five to you all if you're like, where's the rat? Where's the rat? Yes, a were-rat. These devious creatures might be at the low end of the were creatures, but no one expects them, and they're perfectly well suited to face off against a level 2 or 3 party. And afterwards, they'll be like, what the heck were you doing sending us against a werebeast? Just make sure they have access to silver. I personally like giving them the dilemma of, are we going to try to fight this thing with magic alone, or do we melt down our silver pieces to put silver on our weapons so that we can fight them with our martial weapons? It is terrifying for low-level parties. You know what? Let's go for some traditional beasts. I'm seeing 4 eyeballs on me. I love your 4 eyeballs. So I'm going to go and skip sometimes they do ask us for 3D printed terrain, but at this point we don't have access to a 3D printer other than the public libraries. So it's about as easy for us to get a hold of it as anyone else. Thank you for asking, Nathan. I like fielding the extra questions. So next is lot 026, which is for $5. Only $5 is your traditional noodly armed goblinoid, the bugbear. Just look at that axe. You never expect something this big to end up being so sneaky. Love it when your party decides to camp in a goblinoid warren, and these guys go sneaking up on them at night. I tell you, they get hurt fast. Because of course we all know bugbears, if they catch you by surprise, do massive amounts of extra damage. So there is your traditional bugbear for $5. And of course, if you're like, that's great, but we want more than one, we have, repeat after me, a bundle. Because of course we bundled some of these things. So let's clear off this single bugbear lot 026. Of course, if you want it, message us with that lot number as we move on for $9. So you get one for like $5, or for $9 you can get, what did we say is in this one? A bugbear champion and two, I know, they're missing the hood, two unhooded bugbears, all for $9. So you can get one for $5 for $26 with a fantastic costume design behind it, or you can get these three for $9. It's your choice. Message us for which one you want to buy, and we'll be glad to invoice it to you. Just remember those call numbers, and remember to ask if you want us to go and rewind and hit any others with you. If you want us to go and go over any models that we've already gone through again, because I mean, really, with bugbears, after you're finished with Wave Echo Caves, do you really just want to throw one against the party? Of course not. So, coming up next, I see a dragon coming. Stay tuned. But first, we got to make sure to share the love with lot 025, a dark mantle. I tell you, we confounded a GM once when he was throwing deadly encounter after deadly encounter against us, and we were clawing him away, and then we went into a cave, and we were absolutely paralyzed by these dark mantles coming down, these little cave octopuses coming down, covering up our heads, so we couldn't see a thing, and then we were nearly wiped by some of the weakest stalactite hiding creatures you've ever seen. The name of them escapes me, but you know what? I got a monster manual right here. I'm sure I could find it. Yes, in the middle of a sale, I'm pulling out the monster manual. I am that kind of geek. But I think it was like 3 dark mantles and about a half dozen of these, started with a P. And it was like 3 dark mantles and about a half dozen piercers, and it nearly wiped a CR6, a 6th level party of 4. It's like the moment you started just blinding us, we were just like, we don't know what to do. We can't see a thing. Which gave those piercers just enough in order to get the drop on us. The drop. So, next is lot 028, which brings us to our very first dragons, this ancient white dragon you can get with this World of Greyhawk campaign setting for 2nd edition D&D, perfectly convertible to 5th edition if you really want to run Greyhawk. But the first standalone dragon we have for cool $80, this ancient green dragon. If you're like, that ancient green dragon looks kind of funky, that's because Paizo does things to their dragons to make them less traditional to the traditional D&D aesthetic, which I think is fantastic because I like atypically viewed monsters. Um, oh, as I can see that the views dropped right before this gigantic. Just look at that beast. He's so big, it don't fit on my close-up camera. Rawr. So again, that's lot 028. If you like it, just private message us saying that you want lot 028, and this big guy can go and terrorize your party. And tell you, this thing is just chunky enough. It looks impressive just on its own. Just look at it. I've seen spiders bigger than this thing, but still. And of course, if you like what you see here, just come by. Make sure to tag a friend, share with your party, mention your party so they know, hey, I need to go over there and get it. We also have game signups coming up starting on the 10th, so you can see new games that you can join into to play online over Discord and Roll20 or whatever platform the GM wants to do. Some are saying we like Zoom better than Discord. Some people are saying we like the new Fantasy Grounds Unity more than Roll20. It's all up to the GMs, but you can get your game on even with all this social distancing stuff going around. Bridget, can you hand me one of those singletons? I want to build up a few more views before I start bringing out the goblin hordes. So, I know, not as impressive as the dragon. Apparently, you guys lost attention when the dragon came out. But we have Bridget. Lot numbers.
Sorry. Which ones?
Why don't you check over to make sure that you pick up on lot numbers? I guess we're going to have to just start with the hordes. So we're going to go and start with, everyone loves goblins. Check some of the other ones for lot number, so that they all have lot numbers. So, Grayskin Orc, we know that this means that it is from the land of Dungeons and Dragons instead of any of the other many role-playing games out there. This Orc is lot 033 for $3. This Orc can be yours because orcs, we know, can be so devastating these days with their with their high level of hit points, and that massive great axe damage just gets, it's like it can behead a paladin like that. So go grab grab this orc that's 033 for $3. And of course, once again, if you want variety on your orc, you can always say lot 035 for $5, and you can get the orc archer instead. Look at that bow. He just is Well, we know that we don't think of orcs as liking the ranged combat, but you know what? It surprises the players every time. Even if they throw the javelins that they have with them, always surprise the players that the orcs just don't go straight for that hand-to-hand combat. And of course, now that there's so many versions of the orcs as playable races, you know you need that archer in order to be able to fill the role of that orc ranger that you have in your mind. Because Gloomstalker, repeat after me, Gloomstalker orc. You get that bonus movement on the first round. You get the bonus action aggressive movement with you can cross the battlefield. You can do like 120 movement and then hit them with a great axe like that. And with that extra D8 damage for being a Gloomstalker, and why don't we just throw an extra D6 for Hunter's Mark, because you know you cast that right before the battle start. That's 035. And of course, just in case one orc is not enough for you, we got these two for $4 each with number 034. Because sometimes you don't want just one orc, you want two orcs, because orcs tend to be creatures that like to be with friends. They want their tribe so they can slaughter together. It's a community building thing to get these orcs together. Because, you know, orc hordes. Of course, now, going into some truly collectible things, because of course we know some of these D&D miniatures are very, let's repeat this, very collectible. We're going to start the goblins with the bad lady herself, Pog of Zargnel. Pog of Zargnel. And you're like, what does Pog look like? This is what Pog looks like. This is about an inch of goblin badassery. This goblin has all of that serious look of, I am going to take this knife and I am going to stab it in your gut and it is going to leave by your throat. And you're going to be like, how much do I pay for that big bundle of goblin badassery? And this little lady is, like I said, collectible. So we know that means it's like $20. This $20 figure can be yours. And there's a little bit of flipping value that we put in there if you really want to go and move it on. Of course, share, like and share this live stream if you're really liking what you're saying. We'd love to see the love. And if you want, if you want to buy anything, you can private message us in order to get that stuff to you by the mail. We will invoice it to you and then mail it out to you as soon as we can, which will probably be like Monday or Tuesday. Probably Monday. All these miniatures are such great values, even when you're like, that little thing, $20. Yeah. And she's wanted enough that she can command that kind of price. But of course, since we want to get you the value in our goblins, let's go to some of these goblin bundles. I gotta change that name every now and then. I like playing with those banners. So let's get that out of the way. Because you can get Pog for $20. But you know what else you can get for $20? One little goblin, two little goblin, three little goblin, And a goblin fighter. 3 goblin fighters and a base goblin all together for $20. Lot 032. All for your excitement. Because, of course, you know that when you go through these modules and they say goblin, they never say 1 goblin. They say like 6 or 12. And these 4 will get you a long way, including one that you can put out for that special goblin that you know will negotiate with the party if they stop to ask. But you know that they're going to be frustrated with the thing, so they're just going to want to kill those goblins even more. Because that's how goblins rolls. And yes, these are the D&D type goblins. And just remember, just like Pog is a Pathfinder goblin, so you get that wider football-shaped head and that huge mouth. These are the D&D shaped goblins. Yes, for some reason they are shaped differently because of branding. And the Pathfinder goblins tend to go for a little bit more. But these nice little horde for you to go add to your models. And of course, those 4 for $20. But if you want something a little bit more special to show those special goblins that the players are going to be like, oh no, that's not just a goblin. We got lot 030. So, you're going to say, what kind of goblins are special type goblins? Well, we got a goblin commando rider riding a warg. It's the most rat-like warg you've ever seen. This is a Pathfinder type goblin. So on its own, our research told us that it was like $10. But this is a part of a $20 goblin bundle. We got a goblin commando on foot. Also going for like $8. But again, it's part of this $20 bundle. You can do the math. It's a great value. Even has this lovely little skull. Look at that skull. You love that skull. I know you love that skull. And of course, if you're like, yeah, Commanders, that's nice, but let's get something with a little bit more of a bang. How about a Goblin Alchemist? Look at that lovely turquoise skin, because who knows what that goblin drank? I don't know what drank it. Do you know what it drank? But that is certainly a smoking bomb that it is ready to throw at your party, and they're going to be like, what the heck is that wizard that we're fighting? And you're like, ha ha ha, go ahead, dispel magic, I dare you. And you can get all 3 of these bundled goblins for $20. And like I said, they're all between $8 and $10 each. And you can get all 4 of them for just $20. It is fantastic. And such a bargain. We tried to get these goblin bundles at some kind of reduced price per figure from what our research said they should be, because we know how hard it is to gather up these massive for these horde type creatures. But just so, while we knew it was a little bit more expensive, just so you can bring the horde in one purchase. We have lot 029, which gives you 1 Goblin Lasher, 2 Goblin Lasher. Let's get him a little bit better in shot. 3 Goblin Lasher, 4 Goblin Lashers. All these whipping goblins, all to whip it good for $40. But of course, you're like, that's like $10 each. Yeah, I know these are kind of, like I said, it's Pathfinder goblins. But we decided to throw in an extra goblin right here. See this guy? This is a goblin warrior added in there for $40, just to try to ease some of that pain. So you can get 5 goblins for $40. So now we got $40, $20, $20. That would be $80 plus another. If you want, message us with all of the goblins, and we'll get you all of the goblins bundles in just for $100. So I'm gonna put that in the comments. Message. You know it's me typing and not Lena because my spelling is terrible. Message. Okay, Lena's stepping in, so it's good spelling. If they message, give me all the goblins. They can get all of our goblin bundles of value of I did the math. I honestly did the math. I'll give them all the goblins for $100. That is going to be 4 lots all bundled up into one thing. So that will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 goblins for $100. I can do better. 13 goblins for $80. You talk me into it. You eyeballs out there telling me what to do. All the goblins for $90. Either that or I started doing math in my head. Because I didn't plan on doing that. Okay, but of course, since we want to keep up with the goblinoids, and I still have that bundle thing, so a little bit of price down because everyone uses goblins. How many people uses hobgoblins? So lot 036, you get 3 hobgoblins for $25. You get Of course we didn't. We get a hobgoblin marshal. Look at that guy, all ready and prepared and organized. And of course, he looks a little bit combat ready. But of course, if you want the real cool, calm, collected hobgoblins that make the party start to question if they brought the right fight to this fight, we have a couple of these hobgoblin fighters, which of course resembles that iconic hobgoblin artwork that they have that's floating out there. Let's see if I'm remembering right. I know last time I pulled out the monster manual, everyone left. It's almost like they're like, is this going to turn into a game of D&D instead of just buying models for D&D and Pathfinder? And I'm like, I don't know. Look at me. I'm just going through the book looking for H's. Half dragons, hags, more hags. Need to use some harpies. Got a harpy in the lot. If you ask for me to bring up the harpies, I will bring up the harpies. Yes. So almost same. See that hobgoblin? See the family resemblance? I'll put them next to each other. Family resemblance. Totally. We know you love it. And of course, if you really are loving it, please like this video, share this stream, tag a friend in the comments, tell me how much you like it, or even better yet, message us with the models that you want to pick up, or if you want us to go to a special model, ask us, and if we got it, we'll bring it to it. So going up next, again, going into the higher priced, more collectible models because they really don't print enough of them. We have, for $30, we have a tiefling necromancer. Because, tieflings with necromancy, so edgy. You can be just so edgy. I have to start using the Batman voice. because tiefling necromancers will be all the rage among all of those. I'm surprised I haven't seen one in my teens game yet, honestly. Um, so for $30, you can get this tiefling spellcaster because they don't print enough tieflings. Um, so there is that one. So that's lot 037. Send us a private message if you want to pick up any of these. Um, the tiefling will love you. I will love you. Everyone will love you. Including this ancient white dragon that we have up here, where if you say, give me Greyhawk, you get this white dragon, this World of Greyhawk box set from second edition, all for a cool $200. I think it's something like $50 to $100 savings, depending on which collector you find on the internet. Because the prices do range wildly. But either way, we took the lower prices and said, let's just make sure they have a deal with the bundle. So, next, because how many of you were? Tell me in the comments if you can jive with this scenario. You're in a town, your party's sitting there negotiating in a busy market, and someone says, I want 3 gold for this apple. And the parties are like, that's crazy. I don't want to pay 3 gold for an apple. How about if you pay me $3 to not shank you? And the party goes and slaughters the vendor, slaughters a few townsfolk. That's why you need 038 with Sun Elf guards. Only $2 a piece. I know you're like, why is it $2 a piece? And I'm saying because there's 5 of them, so you can get the whole thing for all 5 of them for $10. But these are perfect to put on the map whenever the parties start getting a little bit too murder hobo-y, to try to put the fear of law back in those party members, because you know how much you would hate to paint these individually. So that is going. So that's lot 038, all for your enjoyment. And at this point, because we know there are some people who are asking for more dragons, I don't know. Should we go? Should we do some unpainted miniatures, or should we continue with the pre-painted stuff?
I can find some of the and send over them, but continue with those.
No, here. Just hand me a few of those blister packs up there. Just randomly grab a couple more, because this is some of the stuff you can find regularly in our shop at 3 Gear Studios. That's probably good. This is some of the stuff you can find here regularly in the shop. But we had some people who are like, hey, I want to see some of this during your miniature bazaar. And we thought that it was just bazaar enough for you to, in order to show you and bring it out. So let's start with the human male wizard. So these are some of the deep cut WizKids deep cut miniatures, unpainted, ready for you to go and paint it up and nail it up. Each one of these are normally $4.99, but we'll ship them to you for $4, not including shipping, because we love you, but we still need to charge for shipping. Anywhere in the U.S. So this one, if you just show us, if you just put in there number 2318, put that. cut. Wizard. Lot 2318. Message that to us and we'll get it to you for $4, which is a fifth of the cost. Let's see if I can get some good detail shots. Look at that. Ah, so out of focus. Yeah, there you go. And there's the other one that is doing that perfect. Who's man? Magic missiles. Pew, 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 pew. Because you know you always want to do that. And of course, if a human male wizard isn't great, here is the classic Pathfinder human female sorceress in all of the drapery costumey goodness. There are so many beautiful tassels to paint with her. And again, that one is this one will be brought to you for $4 instead of the normal $4.99 cost, because we want to give you a deal on this special day. I'm trying to spell. We talked about our spelling already, at least my spelling. And that will be lot 3209, because impromptu added. Just look at those. Just imagine the paint jobs you can do with that one. Just see that dynamic posing. I really do like the deep cut lines. I know there's a lot of companies that do more detailed models, but sometimes all that detail I get frustrated with when I'm painting, and it's like I just want to understand what this thing is, and not that you can get more nooks and crannies into this thing. So of course, because sorcerers aren't the only way to go, we got a human cleric. And you're like, that's a nice cleric. And I tell you, the nice thing about all of these miniatures is that just because they say they are a thing doesn't mean you have to play them as that thing. Over there, just in case people actually do say that they want it, because we know that people want to have all this stuff. The human cleric just message us for lot 3193, and this one can be yours. Putting that up in the chat. So just look in the chat for these lot numbers, or if you want to see them again, just let us know. I want to see the deep cut cleric, deep cut sorcerer. We'll be glad to bring them up. And of course, last thing, because 2 more deep cuts, and then we'll get back to some dragons. In fact, I'll go with this Asmar first. Again, $4. This Asmar female wizard. This is one I've been actually wanting to sit down and paint up for a while, but I need to paint some other stuff that people will want for our miniature library first. This one, you can message us with lot number 1779 for these 2 Asmar clerics for $4 for the 2 of them. All unpainted, ready to go for you to paint that perfect angel. And some of these are great angelic action poses. The ASMR, and I said lot 1779. If you want that, we'll let us know, and we will be glad to ship it out to you. And last, before we get to the pre-painted dragons, we have this baby black dragon, because we don't know any parties that have a baby black dragon in them. My Saturday morning Tyranny of Dragons totally has one. It's great. They're trying to make it good. And the baby black dragon just doesn't understand. Even comes with a nice, beautiful little gem pile in the back. Yes, they show it painted in the back, unpainted in the front. I tell you, this is a computerized image, so take for it what you will. Baby black, and that is lot 6576. And again, if you want to see any of these, just let us know, and we will be glad to pull them back out for you. Or if you're like, got any goblins? Got goblins. You saw them a moment ago. We'll be glad to pull them out. So, next, pulling out the big guns. You know how I said that this Greyhawk bundle is $200, and you're like, what? You saying that each one of those things is $100? Yeah. And do you know what else is $100? This white dragon right here. And it's not nearly as big as that white dragon. And it is also $100. Look at it. That dinosaur-like head, ready to say the classic poem, saving throw, saving throw, saving throw. I should find that meme and post it up there just so you can see it, because it's a fantastic comment and perfect for the holidays. But it's not the holidays. Just look at that. Look at that chest on that dragon. Look at those pecs. Look at those wings. Look at those wings. And like many of the other dragons, so big it doesn't fit on our shot. And that is, once again, lot 039. If you want this dragon to bring home, to have in your very own home, just message us with lot 039, and we will be glad to send it over to you. Of course, shipping rates apply. We gotta charge shipping. It's too expensive not to. It's only getting more expensive. And of course, if you're like, but it's summer, I don't want anything so cold as a white dragon, because we know that the white dragons are cold. I'm telling you, keeps you nice and crispy during these hot weather months. We got this bone dragon. Yes, a Draco Lich. And everyone knows by looking at that head formation that this was once a black dragon that got hit by the cult of the dragon and is now a Draco Lich. And this one actually fits on my screen. It is great because it just gets down there. It is ready to ambush you with its undead fury. This is lot 040 for $25 for this nice, ready to pounce black Draco Lich. And of course, you're like, black dragons, that's great. Let's go for another black dragon. Okay, let's go for another black dragon. For lot 040, that 1041. You know, it really helps everyone if I get the numbers right. For $70, because we got to charge extra for the flesh, we have the non-Draco Lich black dragon. I tell you, out of all the dragon sculpts we have, I personally like this one the best. It gets it gets down, it gets in their face. It is ready to go. You can just see the size differential um, as I throw models. Look at that Draco Lich. And it looks like we're getting into some. You can see why everyone's distracted. Forgot to turn off the bundle banner. But this Draco Lich, this black dragon looks all ready to go and bury everyone with its acid breath. I tell you, earlier this season we actually had a party wipe against an adult black dragon. Yes, a third level party against an adult black dragon in its lair. Pre-written module, so we assume that it should be all balanced out. But everyone lined up, crawling across this nice thin outcropping, trying to get at the dragon's pond, and the dragon just popped up its head and went acid attack and just wiped out the entire party, all in one breath weapon. The players were upset. The DM was like, look, the thing written in there, this clue, this clue, this clue, so it shouldn't have been a surprise. And they totally were surprised. So that's a black dragon. Fantastic. Of course, let's go back down to some heroes and some of the more hero level stuff. Because we like classic dwarves, I cannot lie. Put this little beauty in my face and I get drunk because his breath is just that bad. 042 for $7. You can get this classic axe-wielding dwarf ready for your swinging. Just taking a quick check over at the Discord because sometimes we get people messaging in the Discord. Reasons why we might want to work on getting this out outside of just Facebook, but hey, we get it where we can get it. So this dwarf and his axe and his cape all ready to go and swing at whatever comes and faces you. Maybe even nice dwarf and black dragon fight. Can't you see that? Doesn't that look strong against this adult male? I don't know if it's male, but hey, this Black Dragon's marked promo. Maybe that's part of the reason why it's $70. But this dwarf can be just a tenth of that. For a tenth of its body mass, it's a tenth of its price at $7. Lot 042. I'm wishing I had a little bit of drink. I think after this I'm going to need a little bit of drink. But we only have a half hour to go in this, so of course, get all your friends in for the last rush, as we're going till 3. As now we got a pair of twins. This is a pair of half-elf clerics. Look at this lady, ready to go and do all the healing in the nice friendly way that we know the half elves like to do. And we got 2 of them for $5 a piece. Means that 2 people, oh bless your soul, bless the half elf clerics. As someone got me water. Thank you.
Are you saying name of the miniature?
I am, but I'm also giving the lot number. Why? Are people messaging you saying I want in the name of the miniature?
No, I just posted the wrong thing because you said something else and the door fire.
It's okay.
What you did was a good idea where you started putting the item number and name in the comment section?
Yeah, that was for some of the unpainted stuff that we didn't have cards for. But you're right, that is a good idea. We could even
So I'm trying to listen to you.
using the banners, we could even switch up instead of having the cards, we can just have a preset that lot 001 is this stuff for this many for this dollar. So there's ways we can improve because every time we do this, we try to improve. Yes, eyeball back there. We love that you're here. You just got some of the behind the scenes chatter that we usually try to save for the end of the thing. But since you're here and you're looking at those elf clerics on lot 043, let's move on to half elf clerics, $5 a piece. Let's move on to a gnome wizard. I think it's actually labeled as a gnome eldritch knight, but you know, if it's a gnome, it needs its animal companion. So here's an owl because this is a, repeat after me. Oh, I can switch things. It is a bundle. So combined total, because one of them is really pricey, 044 is this gnomish eldritch knight and a familiar owl for $30 because one of them is really pricey and one of them is $10. So you're getting something of getting something like a $10 to $15 value on this one, if I'm remembering the base price of these guys right. But of course, we know how much the animal companions could go for because everyone's looking for an actual realistic animal to be able to serve as their animal companion, and that owl is such a great sculpt. We decided to split them up with some other things. So the gnome eldritch knight and owl companion. Of course, while we're here talking about things and their animal companions, what says animal companions but 047? This ranger and all of her Katniss charms, yes, I'm dating myself, combined with this Black Panther, because it was such a great superhero movie. Also being put together as a bundle because we thought having an animal companion and a person together is such a great idea. We bundled these things together. So lot 047, you can get this archer and that animal companion all together in one. It is, as you can tell, it is fantastic. Because just about every beast companion ranger usually says that they're taking one of two things for their animal companion, either a wolf or a panther. So we had to do this. We just had to. We didn't have a choice. Popular opinion prevailed. But let's turn off the bundle banner. I like that bundle banner. We have a gnome male rogue because yes, gnomes are a thing and rogues are a thing, and together it is mischievousness, awesomeness, because either you got a wind up toy to play with to go and distract the things you're trying to rob, or you got that at will minor illusion that you get to go in there in order to go and make people think that you're running one way when you're really running another. It is a powerful combination. Gnomes and rogues, even without the dex buff. And this is a male gnome rogue for a cool $3. Getting down to some lower price range, but we do have some of the higher price collectible models still mixed in with this mess, including there's a Dragonborn coming up, and we know how hard it is to find that right Dragonborn model out there. So moving on to the next one, an iconic image. Tell me if you haven't seen this cleric before. This is Kira Human Cleric for $5. Um, nope, not on there, so I can't reference that thing. But we've seen this character come up again and again in the Pathfinder world. And so of course they make this nice model, and of course I just love some of this detail. Look at those circles on that cloak, because we all know good detailing on cloaking is so hard to tell. Let's get this out of the light and up on the computer camera. Just look at those details. You know you love it. Circles on the cloak, nice pattern on the embroidery, so much detail. It's not often that they go that deep in detail in these models. Often the best thing we can say is that it's table ready. This one's more than table ready. There's a side of me that kind of wants to grab it for our own collection because it is such a beautiful model. It hurts. But you can clear off Kira over here as well as I go on to a more knightly personality. Because how can you fight evil without your proper heroically stanced knight? So, Lot 048, Human Paladin. This paladin all ready to smite evil in such a classic sunlight off of the teeth pose paladin goodness. Which I tell you, when I was taking some kendo classes, if I ever put my sword like that, they hit me with a bamboo sword many times. So that is a human paladin. And of course, if you're like, that's nice, but paladin's not my jam, that's fine. Because we got this human female barbarian with lot 049 for $3. You can get this lady all ready to go and bury that axe. I have to admit, with Barbarian, I was like, Barbarian's all about two-handed weapons. But then you get Rage, and you get the two hand axes that they often come with, and then that means that's 4. If both of them hit, that's an extra 4 points of damage on your hits at low levels, and we know that can be the difference between life and squish, and that is a combination that even small barbarians can love, because we know that those giant battle axes are often too big for those halfling barbarians. And of course, if you're like, great, give me another monster, that's fine. We can give you another monster. From the elemental planes of fire, we have this little guy. I know he looks like a dwarf, but it is an Azure fighter. These flame-bearded creatures, fantastic choices for your elemental summons that will go and help fight for you, defend with you, and all that stuff. We do have something big coming soon, but first, before that, we got to deal with lot 051. Because what makes the best pirates on the astral seas? But for $5, you can get this Githyanki fighter. Githyanki, we know, are the noseless warriors of the astral sea, freeing themselves from the illithid and the mind flares. I know they're the same thing, um, and wreaking their vengeance on any poor defenseless crew that they happen to come across. Um, I so want to use more of these in my campaigns. I think that there's a lot of untapped potential, and actually, I kind of would like to see someone play one of these things. Which, with some of the one shots we're coming up with, I might be able to twist someone's arm into doing it. Go ahead, tell me to make your character for you, and if you don't tell me what kind of race you want, you might be a Gith. Um, but the combination of strength and intelligence that they have are wonderful for Eldritch Knights. Okay, and now the big thing, because of course we know they never make enough Dragonborn. They never do. I don't know why. I mean, Dragon in Dungeons and Dragons, who wouldn't want to play a Dragonborn? Particularly with some of the variants in the Wildmount book. 052, we get this Dragonborn, male Dragonborn warlord. Yes, you can tell that they're saying that it's a warlord, that this is a Dragonborn printed back in the days of 4th edition, so it's kind of old. But it just kind of makes you want it more, doesn't it? The nice coppery skin tones on the head and the hands just shine perfectly with that nice rustic armor on the back. And this one can be yours for $15. If I remember right, this is one of the first Dragonborn models that they print. That is my memory. You can fight me in the comments, but I won't defend myself. But fortunately, Dragonborn are a little bit easier to find these days, but that one's still kind of a classic sculpt. Nice, compact, looks impressive on the battlefield. Looks like a nice wall of scaly flesh for whoever it comes up against. Of course, next we need to get a nice, beautiful caster. Look at that lady. Such a nice caster. Such a nice pose. I really like that pose. It's so dynamic. This is a combat medic for $3. It can bring the clerk back into your cleric, as this can represent you very well on the battlefield. We are actually coming near the end of the stuff that we've allotted for this event, which I'm kind of impressed. We got some extras if we have extra time, but I'm actually impressed that I think I might have eyeballed the right amount of stuff. And Bridget's like, we're going to try to make you do more. And I'd be like, we'll see. But of course, as a reminder, if you message us, give me Greyhawk. We have this World of Greyhawk bundle, which I'll bring down, where you get the 2nd edition World of Greyhawk campaign setting, complete with maps and all of the goodness in here. The box is a little dent, but it's still good condition. And this ancient white dragon, which we give you at a deal at $200 for the two. All you have to do is message us, give me Greyhawk, and we will bill you and send it to your door because you want this dragon. Maybe after nearly 2 hours of this, I'm getting a little bit loopy, but still, we know you want this. So once again, we'll put it up here so you can remember that. Next, I think we saw a shrink wrap version of World of Greyhawk go for $200 just by itself. Another example of badassery is lot 054. For $5, you get this lady who is a It's a name figure. Um, Greta. You can get Greta. We'll ship you Greta to your very own home for $5 each. And of course, we got two of them. So unless you want to do twin drama in your battle, this makes for a great fighter or barbarian model. I think they did a beautiful job. Just look at those holes in those cloaks. Look at that stance. I personally love the calmer, more ready for action stances rather than the I am going to raise my sword in triumph stance. Maybe it's just me being pretentious, but still. Greta is such a beautiful sculpt and such a calm thing. And of course, moving on to another fantastic sculpt, but this one only $4. Lot 055 for $4. We have Shuanti Gladiator. So we got this gladiator waving for the crowd, all nice and peacefully with his hammer ready to go, ready for action, all for your entertainment. Look at that extended arms as there is those nice cat claws on the back. This looks all ready for the dead sun setting. I'd probably even use, he's big enough, I'd probably even use him as a Goliath. I mean, just look, there's Greta. There's this guy. He's a head taller, but still sits in that medium base. I totally would probably use this gladiator as a Goliath. Or maybe even a combat-ready Furbolg. Your choice. I'm not going to tell you how to play your game. But I will tell you when we have an upcoming bundle. Toss that aside. Because lot 056 is another bundle. Because not only do you get an Eladrin Wizard, which you can find the stat block for in Volos. Mordekai's. Yeah, Mordekai's. You can find that stat block in Mordekai's. But you can even get a familiar to go with that caster. Yes, it's another one of these surprisingly expensive owls. Again, all for the low price of $30. It's like the owl's carrying most of that price. 056. If you want this, of course, send us a private message with the item number. And if you want us to go in on any previous thing, just let us know and we will be glad to. Let me turn off that bundle tag as we move on to the next thing. As next up from the giant size things, lot 057 is Jaruknika. This giant size hag looking sculpt looks to be all of the terror that comes from the Russian mythos. After all, some of the scariest things do come from from Slavic lore. Another creature that comes from the Paizo monster books. I just love the work they did on those scroll cases on her waist. Just look at that detail. Sometimes simple stuff can be the most striking stuff. Just look at that detail in her hair as they got her head, those blue sparklies from her headdress. Welcome all four of you that are now watching. We love it as we're coming up to the final mile of this, as now we're getting into Because when you have that half orc, but you have that steampunk setting, and you kind of want to bring that half orc in that steampunk setting, well, we got you set as lot 058 gets you Sadok Gold Tooth. I remember the first homebrew I did inside of fifth edition. At first level, I had them face up against half dozen orcs with muskets, and I mowed them down. I wasn't expecting it to be that devastating, but Sadok would make a perfect commander for a bunch of orcish musketeers. So let's just put him down here in the detailed shot. You see that sword, you see that gun, you see that wonderful red cloak of his. We can say that it's definitely caught many people's eyes in our cabinet while it's in our cabinet. So that's Sadok for lot 058. I hope you like it. Need to get more steampunk in my steampunk setting because I kind of love the stuff. Next, 059, Denizen of Lang. Which makes such a fantastic mummy sculpt. Such an underutilized undead creature type. You can get these great mummies that can send any master vampire for its money. But they make such great plotters and schemers. So you too can get this mummy for your collection. Such a fantastic table presence for it to face up against those players. Or with those players, because mummies do not necessarily have to be evil. Little tip there. So next, we're up to 060, Fungal Guardians. Because there's a fungus among us. These undead creatures make for perfect zombies to be animated by a spore druid. Just had one do that recently. Everyone was kind of creeped out by it. As these fungal guardians can come in just for that extra undead charm. And of course, once again, we got two of them, $5 each, all ready for your game and pleasure. And of course, if you like what you see, tag people in the chat, like and share, and we will love the extra attention so that we can do more of these. I have a whole line of classic modules ready for you to convert to whatever system you want. I'm sure that some people would love to do some yes, I can name some of these. I'm sure that some people would love to do these classic modules as Fate games. I almost would love to see that happen, particularly as how freeform Fate tends to be. Doesn't lend itself to modules particularly well, but it's still a canned story for you. But next, lot 061, Radskit Pavril. Another gorgeous sculpt for a low $5. And just look at that ice knife ready to go. Great for adventuring in the frosty north. And we know how Icewind Dale is coming out next month. Yeah, next month, Icewind Dale. So you need to get this for your for those wintry adventures. This guy would make such a great caster or a rogue, in my humble opinion. I'm sure some people would love to have him as a knight. So right there, telling you, get ready for those Icewind Dale campaigns. That guy will do you well. Um, but of course, now getting back to the deep dark underground where there is only light, where there is nary a light. We have Darrow. Who did Darrow? Ah, these are actually wizards. One of the many creatures that inhabit the Underdark, we have the Darrow, which, looks the world to me like gnomes. I think these will make fantastic gnomish models, and we do have two of them. And I'm sure that someone in the comments will tell me how Darrow are fantastic creatures that are not gnomes, but really whatever they are. I got to look them up. I'm pretty sure I know which book to look into. But you get these two spiky-haired critters for $3 each to bring in to the end of this. I think we got one more model after this. If you guys want to go back and see anything, make sure to message me, and I'll be glad to do that for you. But here, you're going to put this on our website?
Not our website, our Facebook shop.
Put it on our Facebook shop. Okay, so a lot of these are going to be recycled into our Facebook shop. So if there's anything you would like in this video and in this stream, just go there and you can find it, as well as we will have, we would love to do more of these things in the future. But we get to end everything out, not just a statue, but an animated statue, which can be all kinds of fun because we've seen those Facebook videos of the animated of the people posing as statues playing tricks on people. So that's 063. I have no doubt that you could have a lot of fun with the it is a statue with its arms outstretched, and you turn your back to search that chest and you get kicked in the butt, and now it is a statue flexing mightily, because you want to do that, freak the players out as they're trying to figure out who's kicking them in the butt. And of course, this particular one has a lovely cloak, and as much as it makes a great statue, you could repaint it in order to make it into any kind of wonderful cleric or caster of your choice, because we know it's hard to find those celestial warlock models. So that is the end of our journey. We do have more miniatures that you can come and see inside the shop, that we have price tags on, and we'll be glad to sell you, as well as some of them on our website. All of these will end up being in the actually I was going to go for this one. All of these will end up being on our Facebook page because Lena is that ambitious.
It might take a while, but
yeah, it might take some time, but we'll get them up there, because we do want to see people find a loving home for these miniatures, particularly some of those dragons. Some of those dragons are kind of badass. Some of those $5 models has such a fantastic sculpt and pose on them. I don't know why they're still sitting on our shelves.
and a lot of them are sold out. Not sold out, but
out of print.
out of print. That's what
Yeah, because all of these come from from randomized packs that do go out of print, because they do that, and we'll be glad to try to find a way for you to still get that perfect model to fit that perfect character of yours. So when you come out of quarantine, and when this mess we're in finally comes to an end, you can have that perfect model to enjoy. So if you like this content, please share, and subscribe all of our stuff.
I think Facebook even has a bell that people can
We got a bell now. We got a bell.
so you can get notifications.
We're also on YouTube and all of the social medias out there as Three Gear Studios, as well as you can join our Discord at Three Gear Studios. We will be posting D&D signups for more role-playing games starting tomorrow, and we'll be putting more up throughout the week that you can join. These games will be starting the 1st of September, so you can start the new next month with a new game, and for you to go and use your Icewind Daliness on. Well, no, because it's still going to be early for Icewind Dale. I think Icewind Dale hits the street about the 15th.
I
And
can pre-order it on our website, and it's got the alternate cover.
yeah, you can pre-order on our website, and we got the alternate color and all that stuff. We got nice dice. So until next time, thank you from Three Gear Studios. We hope to see you around. Bye.